In my previous video, I have covered all about axes. In this video, I'll be covering other chart elements as well. So keep watching. Comes to axis title. Let's click here axis title and let's go on its options. So we have effects, fill and the text alignment options here. We can always provide title to our axis, but in my opinion, our axis value axis and our horizontal axis should be self-explainable so that we don't really need to give a title to them. What we really need to have a better chart is our legends. We should have our legends here. With legends, we can identify which line is what. This is the actual line, the blue one. The orange one is planned line. Now the chart title. If I go here, centered overlay, above chart. If I provide centered overlay, it would surpass our lines or bars, whatever is there on our chart. So it is better to have it on above chart. Now the data labels. If I click on data labels here and go on more options, I can actually set where I want to see my data labels. Above, below or data callout. When I say data callout, it will eventually call out the numbers as well as this number is linked with which horizontal axis label. And if I click on more options, label options, if I don't want to see my values here, I can uncheck this box. If I want to have a category name, which is of course our months, series name, this is series name, which is actual sales, and value from sales. For example, if I want to give it 1, now value from sales, okay. Now you can see this one here. I should uncheck this value option. You can see this one here. This is value from cell, or we can also have a range. We have an option to select range as well, or maybe a single value. Let's uncheck it for now. This is used if I am calling out the data as well, like this. What separator I would like to have here? You can see when I have applied separator as semicolon, it is changed to semicolon. Or if I want to have different type of separator, I can use it from here. New line. See, let's delete the data labels for the bank sales. Now see, so you can showcase your data in any manner. I don't want to keep any category name or value over here, so I'm unchecking these boxes. Let's go and explore the other option. This is label option, this is number option. Again, we can format our numbers as described for the axis label, or you may also format your code. Data table is nothing but values just below chart. We might require this when we are working on so many series. We can always show our data in data tables rather than having data labels on. If I wish to see the number of sales planned in any particular month, so I can just go below it and see the numbers that we have planned 800 sales and it happened to be only 300 sales. And we have options like this. Data table options, table border. We want a horizontal border or not. If we don't, we can uncheck it and you can see the line is removed. If I don't want to see vertical axis, this line again is removed. If I want there shouldn't be any outline, we can just uncheck this box. But I want to keep line, I want to keep vertical lines as well, and plus horizontal as well. Show legend keys. These are the keys. There can be one thing, either these legends or the keys here or maybe on the legends. So if I'll uncheck it, because anyways my purpose is solved with the legend keys over here. Or what we can do is, we can again go on our data tables and can select show legend keys and can clear this legend. So now comes the error bars. Error bars represent standard deviation and standard errors. They indicate how far from the determined value is the true value. Common error types include standard error. Standard error displays standard error amount for all values. Percentage specify a percentage error range, and Excel will calculate the error amount for each value. Default percentage is 5%. Standard deviation. It displays standard deviation error amount for all values, and resulting X and Y error bars will be the same size and won't vary with each value. Let's go on more options. So it is asking we need to add error bars based on which series. So of course, it should be actual sales rather than planned sales. So I'm providing OK. It gives us option to format the error bars as well. So we can manipulate with the direction of vertical error bar. Like we want both the ends like this as it is shown here, minus or plus. So we have numerous ways how we want to showcase our data. So let's keep it plus at this time. So end style is, let's take no cap. Fixed value, its fixed value is 1000. You can always customize it as per our requirement. We can specify values, and these values would be custom values here for error bars. We may also specify our true values. True values in sense to indicate how far from the determined value is the true value. Determined values are, of course, in this case, are actual values, actual sales values, and our true values are, of course, our planned values. So to have this customized, we can specify values. It gives an option to indicate positive error values as well as negative error values. Though we want to have positive error values, our planned values, so now you can see the deviation between our actual and planned values. Though in our case, I won't like to use error bars like this. I would rather use to showcase the gap between the two lines. So how can I do that? I'll show you this in my next example, wherein I'll make use of error bars and can customize error bars to solve real life problems. For now, I'm removing it. Let's come to the next is grid lines. So these are the grid lines. If we wish to have all the grid lines, we can check all these options. Though we don't require any, so we can uncheck them all. More options. We can also have it formatted. So I do not wish to see grid lines on my chart, so I am unchecking it. Legends. I have already explained you about the legends. We may go to its more options. So that's one thing. As we already have our legends, legend keys here, so we do not require legends here. It is essential to have legends on our chart to indicate what bar, line, or anything on your chart represents. Next comes trend line. A trend line indicates the trend in a particular series. It is helpful to analyze data because they can forecast future values based upon your current data. Therefore, depending on the type of data will depend on which trend type is most appropriate. Let's go on. It's more options. So yes, our trend line should be based on the actual sales. Okay, so we have trend line options such as exponential, linear, logarithmic, polynomial, power, moving averages. So exponential creates a line to show data values that increase or decrease at increasingly higher rate. Linear shows how values in a data series increase or decrease at a steady rate. Logarithmic shows how data values increase or decrease and then level out. It is used when your data values increases or decreases quickly. Polynomial. It creates a curved line illustrating maximum number of fluctuations in the data values, for example, to showcase gain or loss during the period. Next comes power. It creates a curved line to compare measurements that increase at a specific rate, for example, the speed of a race car. Moving average. It reduces the fluctuations for a smoother pattern, for example, and yes, we need to, if we click moving averages, we need to specify the period. The minimum is 2 and maximum could be 3 or 4 as well. So by this, if the period value is 3, the first two values are averaged. The resultant value would be the first point on the line. Next is the trend line name. So you can also specify the trend line name. It is a text that appears in the legend. Forecast. So you cannot forecast with moving averages, but if it is linear, which is F for our data, and then we can forecast forward or backward. So if we always forecast in a forward direction. Here we can mention periods for how many periods we would like to forecast our data. So it would extend the trend line forward. Like if I give it 2 and I'll press enter, you can see it has extended this line to 2 periods. Sets intercept. It allows to specify the point on the value axis where the trend line crosses the axis. Display equations on chart. We can check this if we want to showcase the equation on our chart, or we can also check this box if we want to display the R squared value on chart. A trend line is most apt when its R squared value is at or near to 1. So in our case it is near to 1. This forecasting is apt in our case. Up-down bars. You can see these up-down bars here showing the gap between the two. And we can format these up-down bars as well. Going to more options. Why do we like to have up-down bars on our line graph? This is to showcase the gap between the two, actual and planned. For example, I have actual sales exceeds planned sales. Let's say it is 2000 for June month. Then you can see the colors changed. So we can have format the colors as per our that's border. So we can have color on our up-down bars. For this we can have red color to indicate shortfall here, like this. So this is better way to represent where actual sales are lacking. That's all about chart elements from my side. Next video would be an application based on charts. Herein I'll explain you how to alter chart to showcase gap percentage between actual and planned sales, and how to bring in the moving data series label.